It's 4:30 and this is WKYT This Morning. Some scary moments for some Georgetown College students still on campus for the holiday. Someone fired shots at an apartment complex.
Plus, the Whitley County Sheriff's Office is investigating a drive-by shooting, but they say the case is unusual as their main suspect is a 71-year-old woman.
And Hermine is still kicking around in the Atlantic Ocean this morning. We'll have the latest on what's left of the hurricane. And we'll have a look at your forecast locally just ahead here on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so good to have you on WKYT on this Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed a long Labor Day weekend. I did. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. That's okay. We still had fun yesterday. We missed you. We're glad you're back. Yeah. And you know what? It's gotten a little hotter.
It has, and that was setting in yesterday,
yes.
And certainly it looks like it is here with us for this first full week of September. Meteorologist Micah Harris is in with us. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we reached 91 degrees yesterday here in Lexington. Some of us stayed in the upper 80s, but for the most part, it's upper 80s, lower 90s. As we expect once again today. Live sky camera, there is your shot. Looks pretty good there on the roadways at this moment. 69 degrees here in Lexington. We're in the mid-60s down south. Actually feels quite nice. And then you look toward the afternoon, another muggy day. Well, this will actually be a little more steamy in the forecast is what we're going to be expecting today and tomorrow, because now we're starting to get that moisture in place. So we're really going to be talking about looking at these steamy conditions, and then the storms come later on this work week. I'll show you when those arrive coming up.
Okay, we'll see in a bit. Thank you. In the news this morning, students at Georgetown College on campus there had some frightening moments on Labor Day after discovering someone fired shots right at their apartment complex.
And the bullets hit doors and even ended up inside at least one home. WKYT's Monique Blair talked to people who live there.
We kind of started to think, what if those are bullet holes?
Just a few weeks into his freshman year, Georgetown College football player Clayton McCune woke up Monday morning to quite a surprise.
The glass was shattered a little bit, and like I said, the first thing we thought was something happened and the glass broke, so.
McCune quickly realized his mirror was broken because 2 gunshots were fired into the front door of his college campus townhome.
That's where we think the first one ended up hitting, and then as we go back here, we didn't notice this little hole here at first. The first thing we ever saw was the bathroom.
McCune says he, along with all of his roommates, were in bed by 2:30 a.m. and nobody heard the gunshots.
So 2 bullets went all the way through one door here, then 3 doors down. 2 bullets also punctured the door here, but they did not go all the way through. But if you look over here, there is a surveillance camera. Right now, Georgetown police are reviewing that footage to see if there is any evidence that describes a little more into what happened.
They do have security that does patrol the area on foot and in a vehicle. We very seldom get called out here unless it's something that we need to get involved in.
As Georgetown police and campus police try to find whoever is responsible for this crime, McCune and his roommates say they are not sure who would have done this, but right now they say they're just thankful because it could have been much worse.
One of my roommates, his bed is right on the other side of this wall. He's leaned up against the wall probably about this high, so the bullet, if it had continued to go through, it would have. But it stops right here.
In Georgetown, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Now, thankfully, no one was hurt by any of the gunshots. The Georgetown College campus security team has told the students who were affected they will do whatever they can to ensure their safety. 2
separate shootings in Lexington on Labor Day have left 2 people seriously injured. We've learned more about the shooting at the Marathon gas station on Trent Boulevard. Lexington police say a 35-year-old man was shot 4 times in the abdomen and once in the head at one of the gas pumps. Police say he was taken to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries. We do not know how he's doing this morning, and they have arrested 1 person in the case and charged him with receiving a stolen firearm. They say more charges are possible against him. At this point, police are not sure what led to that shooting. And Lexington police say they found a shooting victim outside a hotel. Police say a 24-year-old man was riding in a car on Buena Vista Road when another person in that car shot him. They say they found the victim in the parking lot of the Microtel motel. Police say he had serious but non-life-threatening injuries. They have not made any arrests, but they think the victim and the shooter knew each other.
Lexington police also say a teenager was shot on Augusta Drive. Police say the 15-year-old had a gunshot wound to the hand. He was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say he originally told them he was injured in a drive-by shooting, but later admitted he and a friend were playing with a gun and he accidentally shot himself. So far, police say no charges have been filed. Investigators are still trying to figure out a cause of death for a body found inside a burning car in Lexington. So far, Lexington police haven't released many details about the investigation. Deer hunters nearby said they heard a loud boom, then saw the car on fire at the intersection of Elkchester Road and Red Road. They say they tried to help, but at first they couldn't tell if there was anyone inside.
Started screaming and hollering, and we didn't hear nobody in the vehicle, so, we backed up because it was really, really hot.
The Fayette County coroner has not released the name of the person found dead inside the car. The body has been sent to Frankfort for an autopsy.
The sheriff calls it one of the most unusual cases he's worked. His office began investigating a drive-by shooting at a Whitley County home, but the suspect is a 71-year-old woman. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office charged Julia Miller with wanton endangerment. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has more on that story.
The sheriff says there aren't many drive-by shootings here in Whitley County, but there's a first time for everything.
This is the first one that, first and hopefully the only one, since I have been sheriff down here. And I have been the sheriff of Whitley County this will be my 6th year.
Not only that, it was around 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday when investigators say it happened. 71-year-old Julia Miller was arrested and charged with wanton endangerment. Investigators say Miller was driving by when she fired 5 shots at a home on Whetstone Road, hitting a window pane, but thankfully not hurting anyone.
Someone could have been struck very easily. 5 projectiles out in the air could have happened, but it didn't.
Deputies say they found this .22 caliber pistol and 5 shell casings inside her car. Sheriff says Miller had just bought the gun that morning. The big question is why. Even now, investigators say they still don't know.
Without question, there was some anger, or it was random. Whichever doesn't make any sense.
Sheriff Harrell says the folks who live in the home do know Miller, although he's not sure how. Investigators say they do not believe alcohol was involved. The sheriff calls it an unusual case. In Whitley County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And the sheriff says the case will be presented to a Whitley County grand jury.
Hermine is still kicking around the Atlantic Ocean some 200 miles off the eastern seaboard. The storm managed to ruin some Labor Day beach plans from New England to the Jersey Shore. DeMarco Morgan has the latest.
As Hermine turned up the northeast, she put a fizzle on the unofficial last day of summer. Thrashing waves and dangerous rip currents kept most beachgoers from New Jersey to Cape Cod out of the water. Geraldine Dry spent the afternoon at Coney Island.
No ocean for us. We kind of stepped onto the water, but then the lifeguards were looking at us, so we just had to run off.
Hermine kicked off with a punch, a Cat 1 hurricane that came ashore early Friday morning in Florida with 80-mile-per-hour winds and dumped up to 18 inches of rain. It quickly lost steam as it veered through the Carolinas. Still, tropical storm warnings were issued for shore towns up the East Coast. Overnight, rough waters rocked this Royal Caribbean cruise ship headed from New Jersey to Bermuda.
When you see the crew on a cruise ship starting to get dizzy and sick, then you know it's gotten pretty bad.
Todd Labart, owner of the Beachcomber restaurant in Wellfleet, Massachusetts, is relieved to be spared the brunt of the storm.
Pretty much from the beginning they thought it was stay east of us, which was fine with me.
That was DeMarco Morgan reporting. The storm is being blamed for at least 3 deaths in the south, and people in the Florida Panhandle are still cleaning up debris days after Hermine made landfall there.
It's really been something that's been in the news a couple of weeks.
It has,
yes. Yeah, and so a lot of folks with some difficulty out of Hermine.
Sure.
Go on, Hermine.
Get out of here.
4:39 on WKYT this morning. We're just getting started with the latest news on your Tuesday that feels kind of like a Monday for a lot of folks.
Well, moms, if you need a new exercise to spice up your morning routine, we've got the answer. We'll show you what's being called the perfect exercise when we come back.
And we're looking at temperatures once again in the forecast for today and tomorrow, and then storms return to your 7-day. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We We have a good looking start to the day. Yesterday was phenomenal. I know it was right around 90 degrees for everybody, but the humidity was not there. So that was some pretty good news for us as you headed out and about. Grilling, I hope everybody's Labor Day went well. E-Town looking pretty good heading down BG Parkway all the way to 65. Frankfort, no issues across 64 if you're heading toward Louisville and then heading back towards, say, Moorhead. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it's just calm and quiet this morning. As always, 63 degrees now across 150 there in Boyle County, all the way into Springfield and my friends there in Washington County. Slide over toward eastern Kentucky, and we're holding on to 60s as well. Now, as we continue to watch going throughout the past 24 hours, yesterday morning we started off in the upper 50s, lower 60s. It actually felt phenomenal. This morning is more of the mid to upper 60s, so we're getting warmer each and every single day. 84 there by noontime, and then we hit the afternoon right around 90 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Obviously, no chance of rain for today. All looks well as that huge dome of higher pressure still back toward our east, helping us out big time. Headlines, it's a short week for a lot of us, but it still gets pretty steamy the next couple of days with 90-degree temperatures today and tomorrow. Off towards your Thursday, we'll be roughly 90 degrees, but it's more about the storms late in the day. I would say on Thursday, it's mainly evening and nighttime hours. That's the timing on it now, that we start to see a few storms move in to the western areas. Now, I don't see a severe weather threat at this moment. We'll see if that changes. If it increases in time, if it comes through during the afternoon hours, then we'll have that severe threat. But as of right now, no severe thunderstorms in the forecast. Storms will move in on your Friday. Friday is more of a 40% chance of rain. Saturday is your best chance of rain. I didn't want to bump it up to 60% just yet yesterday, but now that we're seeing continuous model runs showing every model run showing Saturday with the best chance of rain, so we put it to 60%. Storms will be likely there on Saturday. They'll travel off into your Sunday. Sunday, look at Sunday, 76 degrees, extremely nice conditions. Boy, we're getting these shots of cooler air each and every single week, and that's exactly what we see this time of year. It's normal to actually get these shots of cooler air. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll see a few more shots here and there. They'll actually come a little bit, it'll be common to actually see those
more frequently.
Yeah, more frequently. Thank you.
That sounds
good. It is 4:45. I was like, what is that word?
Where am I?
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, so it looks pretty good after we get past the storms on Saturday. Not too bad. Nice
Good
shot,
deal.
cooler.
Thank you, Micah.
You bet.
4:45 is the time on WKYT this morning. Exercise is an important part of anybody's daily routine.
And the tummy can be a trouble area for moms and really everybody. In today's Mom's Everyday Minute, you can exercise with a little way to whittle the waist. Do you like that?
Planking, that's what we're talking about today. It's one of the best things you can do to get in shape. Fitness expert Kimmy Ray Chapman is here. Why should we plank?
Plank is so good. It gets your transversus abdominis muscle, which is that innermost, that's behind your abs. So you don't want to, you can't have a six-pack and if you don't pull in the inner muscle first, especially
so it's
women
really deep in there.
Yeah, that have had babies.
All right, Kimmy, you're in a basic plank position. What are we making sure to do when we're planking?
Our tail is down but not caved. We're pushing, plugging out of the shoulders, charging from the heels, so we're lifting the inner thighs. And breathing.
And breathing. How long do we stay in this position?
As long as you can.
Is 5 seconds to start okay?
5 seconds is excellent.
Okay, so if that is challenging, what can we have a modification?
For a beginner, this is a great way to start plank without getting injured.
And again, you've got your straight back, your seat is tucked in, and you really have the same form but a little less tension on your body when you're doing this. For more information, all you need to do is click on momseveryday.com. I'm Rebecca Rainier.
For these tips and more, just go to WKYT.com and click on Moms Everyday. Planks are a good exercise.
Yeah.
Wear you out.
Did those yesterday.
Oh, good for you. I did not.
All right. Here we are on WKYT this morning on your Tuesday. Good to have you with us. 4:47, bright and early, and we have more news on the way.
6 people face charges this morning after police in Mount Sterling say they've broken up a large drug operation at a hotel. And there's a group forming to fight the drug problem in the county. That's coming up on WKYT this morning.
Good morning and welcome back in WKYT this morning on the air at 4:50, 10 till 5. Police in Mount Sterling say they have broken up a large drug operation and now 6 people are facing charges.
A manager at the Mount Sterling Days Inn says he noticed a bunch of people going in and out of the room, so he called police. When investigators arrived, they found meth inside that room. The 6 suspects have been charged with making and trafficking meth. This comes less than 2 weeks after police made a string of arrests in overdose cases in Montgomery County. Now, some concerned citizens and county officials have now formed a group to fight the drug problem in the county.
This goes to show that our police department is committed to battling the dealers as much as possible. You know, it's something that you're never going to be able to really conquer, you know, but you can put a dent in it, and that's what we're trying to do here.
The group called Montgomery County Adapt will have a forum on heroin September 15th at the Montgomery County High School. A second person has been arrested for a robbery in Whitley County. The sheriff's office says deputies arrested Glennis Nance over the weekend. Investigators say he and Isaiah Canada robbed someone at knife point at the High Top boat ramp last month. The victim says the 2 men claimed they were park rangers. Deputies arrested Canada last week. They said they also found meth at Nance's homes.
Both Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and Republican nominee Donald Trump spent Labor Day campaigning in Ohio, and both made jobs a focus of their speeches. Clinton promised voters that she would fight for American workers, but Trump promised labor leaders that he is the candidate who can save American jobs from going overseas.
We're going to say yes to standing up for workers' rights and dignity, yes to good jobs and benefits, yes to the American dream.
As our country, in terms of manufacturing, in terms of jobs, is going to hell. It's going to hell. Our jobs are being taken out of our system.
Labor Day marks the traditional kickoff to the fall campaign, and a new CBS News poll shows Clinton with a slim lead over Trump in 13 battleground states. Journalists flew on Clinton's campaign plane for the first time, and Trump also invited reporters on board his private jet. Conservative activist Phyllis Schlafly has died at the age of 92. Her son says she died at her St. Louis home after a battle with cancer. Schlafly founded the Eagle Forum political group. She also played a role in defeating the Equal Rights Amendment in the 1970s, and she wrote more than 24 books during her life.
Here's an interesting story. Employees at a northern Kentucky Taco Bell made an unusual discovery in the drive-thru: a boat. Now take a look at these pictures taken at the Fort Wright Taco Bell. Employees say the boat had been damaged, and so was the drive-thru, causing them to shut down temporarily. What's even more interesting, there was no tow vehicle for the boat, just the boat. Police are still trying to track down the boat's owner.
Well, coming up next, we'll have a look at some of the stories our news team is working on for you this Tuesday morning.
And we'll have another look at your morning forecast coming up.
Hey, good morning and welcome back into WKYT this morning. It's coming up on 4:57, and we're sure glad you're with us on your Tuesday morning.
That's right. Feels more like a Monday for some of us.
It does, right. Lots of folks hopefully had a little time off to enjoy.
Adjusting now. And now it is time to take a look at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning.
We learned some new details this morning about a shooting at a Lexington gas station that sent 1 man to the hospital. They have arrested 1 person in that case. We have the new details coming up at the top of the hour.
And this morning, the Richmond City Commission will discuss police pay. The special called meeting is set for 10 o'clock this morning at City Hall. We'll have more details on that meeting coming up on WKYT this morning.
It was a beautiful Labor Day weekend around here with lots of sunshine, and you know, it started getting warmer yesterday, and I think that trend continues.
Summer is not ready to leave just yet. Let's head to Micah Harris for an update on your morning forecast.
Yeah, still got a grip on us right now, and that'll take us off through the next few days. Now through about your Thursday, you'll see temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. We're starting off pretty nice this morning. It's still a little bit warmer than yesterday, so we're seeing that trend continue not just during the afternoons, but during the morning hours now. But it's going to be already muggy there by noontime at 85 degrees. Teachers, remember this. Get the kids outside because it does look like rain. It's going to move in later on in the work week. 90 degrees today, but still staying dry, so that's some good news in there. We'll get into that forecast. I'll show you when those storms arrive and if there are going to be any severe weather in the forecast. That's coming up with another 2 hours WKYT News.